Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm excited to be back with you this week. And I'm extra excited to be talking to you about one of my favorite patterns. We're going to talk about the Laura today and all of the beautiful fabrics that we would recommend you use to make it. So say hi, tell me what you're working on, what's on your sewing table, what your weekend plans are. Just let me know that you're here and this is working. As always, I'm never quite sure if it's working or not. I think it's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just realized I haven't been outside or really looked out a window. My shades are down. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but I know it's Thursday and it is a beautiful day to be alive. So I'm going with it. So, hi. Hi. Oh, good. Everybody's here. How are y'all doing? What's going on? Where are you at? What you working on? Talk to me. So I'm super excited to be talking about the Laura today. It is one of my favorite patterns because it is one of the fastest sews ever. So it's a beautiful top tunic or mini dress, which you can lengthen if you want it to be full dress. But it's just so cute. It's kind of a shell shape with a little bit of a dolman sleeve. It's super adorable, super flattering. I think on everyone. It's one of my sister's favorite patterns. And it takes like an hour to make for me from gluing. I'm a page gluer from gluing to completion. It's really quite quick. Ooh, a romper. Hi from Paraguay. That's really cool. Um, so I particularly love just how fast it is to go for such a classic chic look. I just love that I don't have to put a lot of time into it to make something so beautiful. Plus, my favorite part is that it's for both knits and wovens. I love a pattern that's that versatile without losing the right fit, going from knit to woven. Sometimes things are made for knit and woven, and you make it out of knit and you love it, and you make it out of woven and you hate it, or vice versa. And this is definitely not one of those for me. I love the fit in either knit or woven. It's really comfortable. It's really cute. It's so versatile. It's a great top. I made a lace one for my sister for a swim cover up, and it's maybe her favorite because it's so comfortable and easy to just throw on at the pool. So it's just really versatile and lovely, and it has a couple of neck finishing, so you can have your favorite finishing techniques for whatever you're making the shirt for. When I make it out of woven, I tend to go for a facing, for that cleaner finish. When I go for knit, I do the binding or I hack it into just a t-shirt neckband because I'm lazy and that's faster for me. So many different options out of such a simple pattern. And I just really love all the different things that you can make out of it, depending on your fabric choice. So I wanted to talk to you about the different fabrics that we carry that you can pair with Laura, to make all of these beautiful different feels to the shirt or dress, whatever you decide to make. And then we started making a list and the pile got really long. So I'm just going to talk about a handful of them kind of quickly because it's such a versatile pattern. You really can go from some very lightweight wovens or knits, all the way up to even double knits can work really nicely with it. So I'm going to get started. Don't forget that every comment enters you to win a prize. I'm going to be sending off a 3-yard cut of a mystery fabric that is appropriate for Laura. We will cover shipping anywhere in the US. If you are outside the US, you can still win. You will just cover shipping, and it'll just be a beautiful mystery fabric that you can make up a beautiful Laura with. So let's start with a couple of lightweight wovens. I'm going to start with bubble crepe because it's maybe one of my favorite wovens. So this is one of the bubble crepes that we carry. And it's a beautiful fabric. It is lightweight enough to have some gorgeous drape, but because it has a lot of polyester in it, it also can be very color fast. So you get a lot of beautiful colors and prints in there. So we have quite a few options, not just florals. We have polka dots and plaid and some camo. So some really great options there if you're looking for non-floral options, because I know sometimes that's helpful. And I know that when I hold it away, you can definitely see through it. You can see me through this, but when I hold it up against me, you can't see my shirt. You can't really see where my shirt ends and where my skin starts, which is really helpful. But if you're worried about it, you can either line it or use this as like a swim cover up where you're not going to be worried about it being a little bit see-through. So this is going to give you a beautiful drape, some flow and swish. And then this, because it's crepe, has a beautiful texture to it. Which is just lovely. I love that extra little pizzazz. So this is going to look similar to chiffon, but be so much easier to work with. So much easier to work with. I really want to make the shirt version out of this to wear with a pencil skirt. I think that would look lovely. And since I mentioned chiffon, I've got this beautiful chiffon here. This is our Glacier Blue. So this is going to be much more sheer, as you can tell. Much more sheer, a little bit more complicated to work with. This one's a little bit lighter weight, so it's going to be a little bit more troublesome to work with. You'll need a little bit more patience, but if you want to try chiffon, the Laura is a really great pattern to try it on because it's such a simple sew. It's not going to cause further issues on top of just working with chiffon. If you're already comfortable with chiffon, then you've got nothing to worry about. But I love the drape of chiffon. The end result is always, always worth the effort. It's just a matter of whether you've got the time and patience for all of that effort. Amy, thank you. I love your bubble crepe makes. I always want to see more of them. So just lovely. Yes, lots of pins, and you're going to want to pin either using the smallest pins, the glass head tiny little pins, or within the seam allowance, just so that you don't accidentally snag anything in your finished product. Let me see. There was one more lightweight that I wanted to really talk about. That's the Rayon Challis. Let me find it in my stack. So Rayon Challis is also going to be, oh, this one's been folded for a minute. This one's got quite a few wrinkles. So Rayon Challis is going to be kind of right in between those two for weight. It's closer to the crepe in weight, but the drape on it, oh, there's tape on this. There's tape on it. Ignore the tape. The drape on this is going to be just lovely. It's going to give really beautiful flow and drape, and it swishes. It's a little bit easier to work with than the chiffon. It's a little bit harder to work with than the bubble crepe in my experience. You might obviously have a different experience, but I love Rayon Challis. It's so soft and flowy against your skin. It feels amazing to wear, and it really makes a very basic garment feel luxurious. So I love a good Rayon Challis. While we're talking, yes, Karen, this is live. I'm here. I can say hi to you right now. While we're sharing some wovens, let's talk. Oh, that green is luxurious. That's our Hunter in the Rayon Challis, and it's gorgeous. While we're talking wovens, let's talk about crepon. So this is another great woven that has a gorgeous texture, which I love. So I'm going to hold this close and ignore the wrinkles from this being folded on my table for a bit here. But this texture on this is just beautiful. I love a good crepon. It's pretty easy to work with. It's got great drape and flow for a beautiful, beautiful shirt or dress. I just love it. I just love it. So that's going to be the crepon. And then we have a couple of chambrays that will also be quite lovely in Allura. This is our crinkle chambray. We also have a classic blue chambray, but this is our crinkle chambray, so it has a little bit of extra texture. And again, these have been folded in a bin in my office here for a bit, so ignore the wrinkles that I probably should have pressed out. But this guy has a beautiful texture, and then the wrong side is just such a beautiful color. I use this to make something, I don't remember what, and I used the wrong side as accents throughout because I just really love how beautiful both sides look together. So chambray is going to be a little bit more structured, just a little bit less flowy, but so comfortable and breathable to wear, which is lovely. The Rust Dove, that's this one, is mostly rayon, whereas the blue one is going to be 100% cotton. So those are going to wear a little bit differently, but both natural fibers, nice and breathable and easy to wear, which is wonderful. My pile is a mess over here. So let's talk poplin. Poplin is one of my favorite woven fabrics. It's one of the very first ones I ventured into on my own as an adult sewing clothes for myself. And I love how easy it is to work with. It is, again, this one's not even been folded. It's been crumpled. I've been irresponsible with my fabric. Poplin is as easy to work with as quilting cottons, in my opinion. It's stable enough that it's not going to shift on you when you're cutting. It doesn't super unravel at the edges, like some woven fabrics that just fray when you look at them. So it's really easy to work with. This is going to give you very crisp Laura, but with beautiful drape. The drape on this is lovely. It's a little bit boxier, so it'll give you just a little bit more structure, but it's just so beautiful. Michelle, that was I already forgot. Hang on. That was the bubble crepe. So that's the bubble crepe on the website. Sarah, if you're watching, if you would grab a link, that would be really helpful. Thank you. So poplin is typically a cotton spandex blend, and then how it's made is slightly different from quilting cotton. That's what the main difference is. But the ease of working with it is very similar, in my opinion. I find it really easy to work with, and then because this has just a little bit of spandex, it doesn't have actual stretch to it, but it does have some wearing ease, so it's really comfortable. Because when you sit down, it's got a little bit of ease to it, so it's a little bit more comfortable. So cotton poplin is one of my favorite, and it's so breathable and perfect for summer and spring wear where you're a little bit warm and you want to just be able to breathe a little bit more. Yeah, the boxier drape, it's beautiful. Either way, whatever you're looking for, whether you're looking for that flowy delight, beautiful. If you're looking for that boxy fit, it's got the structure that it just looks beautiful on everyone. So I love it. I love it. So let's stick with wovens here. There's a couple wovens I won't talk about today. It works in just about everything from lightweight to heavyweight. So I wanted to show Barbie, though, because Barbie is one of my favorite fabrics. It is luxurious and soft and beautiful. It's easy to work with. It's definitely going to give you more of that structure. Thank you, Sarah. You're the best. It's definitely going to give you a little bit more structure while still having beautiful drape and flow to it, which is just lovely. I love Barbie. It's soft, it's comfortable, it's easy to work with, and I really think that it feels luxurious. If you haven't touched Barbie fabric, it feels like you're touching something expensive, but at a really, really reasonable price. So it's a win-win. And we have this in this beautiful blue, and then the plum. Oh, I wish I'd grabbed some plum. The plum makes me so happy. It's such a beautiful color. It's perfect for my springtime happiness. So Barbie is also a really great choice for Laura. So there are definitely some other wovens that we carry that will be lovely. Let's think about this. The rayon linen would be beautiful. Wool dobby would be lovely. I still have a giant pile here, so I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many details. So those are the wovens that I'm going to recommend today. Obviously there are other fabrics that exist in the world that are beautiful for this pattern. Laces are lovely. I just don't have any on hand to show you. So let's dive into the knits. So you can go anywhere from a lightweight to a heavyweight knit, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing where I start light and get a little bit heavier. So I'm going to show you this beautiful nub jersey. I forgot what it was called for a minute, which is one of my favorite t-shirt fabrics. I absolutely love wearing this as a t-shirt. So for the Laura in the shirt length or the tunic length, this is like my dream. This and the tri-blend are both going to have very similar feels, drapes. They're going to be similar looks in the finished product. I really love them because they're light and they're breathable. They're comfortable. They feel like a t-shirt. They feel like a very classic t-shirt. Yes, Amy, that's exactly how I feel about it as well. I love Ponte, so maybe that's why I love Barbie so much. So the nub jersey is going to be a poly linen blend. So this one has linen in it, where the tri-blend is poly cotton. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten the third one. Is it rayon? I think it's rayon. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm so very sorry. But these two fabrics are going to give you very similar drapes, flowiness, lots of just softness and beautiful. And it's just going to kind of flow over your curves rather than box around them, which is really quite lovely. Then, of course, you can use a DTY, which It's one of my favorite fabrics. So that stands for drawn textured yarn. So when they make DTY, they just twist it and then they heat it, and then they knit it into beautiful fabrics. So this is soft and silky on both sides, and it's so lovely to wear. I love, love, love the DTY in the summertime because it's easy with the poly blend, but I don't get so hot as I do in a double brush poly because it's not brushed. So it just kind of flows over everything and is super easy to wear. Plus the wrinkle resistance is win-win in my opinion. So DTY is lovely. The flow on it is beautiful. It's got lovely drape. I find it easy to work with, but I know that some people struggle because it's a little bit slippery. So if you struggle with slippery fabrics, keep that in mind and add some extra pins or clips, and sew a little bit slower for you. I love it. And we have tons of beautiful prints in the DTY. So it's nice and beautiful. You can definitely find something that fits into your life. Single brush poly. Okay, so DTY, single brush poly, and double brush poly are all things that we talk about at the same time. Because the DTY is the same fabric base as single and double brush poly. So what they do is they take the DTY and they brush one or both sides of it to make single and double brush poly. So single brush poly, which I have an example here actually. I didn't put it in my pile, but I've got it right here. Will give you kind of the same feel and flow as DTY, but it's brushed on the outside. So it's really soft and lovely on the outside. And then you get that slinky smoothness on the inside. So it's a little bit easier to sew with because the sides you're going to be sewing together aren't as slippery, but it feels amazing on your skin. Single brush poly is one of my favorite fabrics. I don't get too hot in it. I'm really comfortable, but it's got that beautiful flow and drape that I love, that I absolutely adore. Plus, it's so soft. It's so soft. You just want to cuddle up with it and enjoy whatever it is you're doing. So single brush poly. I find DTY to be more breathable than double brush poly because it's not brushed. So that brushing, I find it makes it stick to stuff, where the DTY unbrushed just kind of flows over stuff. So whatever that stuff is, your skin, your undergarments, whatever you're wearing. I prefer DTY for breathability, but they're made of the same stuff. So if the polyester is something that you don't like wearing, I don't recommend DTY. I would lean toward that nub jersey with the linen, or a modal would be much more breathable for you. Ooh, that watercolor paradise is beautiful, Sarah. You're right. So then I'm going to show you the double brush poly because we have so many options in double brush poly. You just can't go wrong. So it's really soft, super flowy. We have this in so many solids and dots and stripes and beautiful patterns, that you definitely can find something that you love in a double brush poly. It's super easy to work with. It's comfortable to wear. I am here in hella humid Atlanta, and I wear double brush poly all year. But I know that some people don't like the polyester all year round, so that is where I would recommend a modal, or that tri-blend, or even polyran spandex. Something that has a natural fiber in it is going to be a little bit more comfortable for you if you're sensitive to that poly and the heat. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I have a rib knit next. Oh, y'all, I love rib knit. And we just added some pointel, which is going to fall in kind of that same category of feel and look. So rib knits have this beautiful texture to them. Y'all know I love that texture. They're super easy to work with. They're so comfortable. This is going to be super cute in the Laura. I forgot the name of the pattern. The Laura. It's going to be so comfortable, super lightweight. Lots of swish, and look at how beautiful that drape is. Rib knits do tend to grow, so be sure to let it hang before you hem it, or it might be a little bit longer than you anticipated, but keep that in mind when you are shopping for your rib knits. But rib knits and sweater knits are going to be just beautiful in the Laura for that classic spring sweater look, which I am just obsessed with. So that's wonderful. What's next in this pile? Cupro. So I did a deep dive into Cupro last week in the Slyvox Fabrics Facebook group. So if you want to learn more about how awesome Cupro is, check it out because it's a really cool, environmentally friendly fabric. And I love it. So it is really light and flowy because it's got natural fibers in it. It's a little bit more breathable. The drape is just insane. It's got a beautiful sheen to it that makes it look expensive. It's used as an alternative to silk, which is just cool. It's just really cool. So go ahead and check that out if you want to learn more about Cupro, but I would highly recommend this for Laura. It's going to be so beautiful and cute and comfortable and easy to wear, which is just always a win. Of course. What do I have next? Okay, so let's get into a little bit heavier weight of a fabric. French terry, which you can get French terry in a lighter weight, but some of them are a little bit more substantial. This is such a cute fabric for the Laura. It's going to be a little bit flowy, a little bit drapey, and then just a little bit boxy, depending on the weight of the fabric. Baby French terries will have a little bit more flow. Regular or heavy French terries will obviously be a bit more boxy, but it's so soft and comfortable. I actually think that this would also be a wonderful swim cover-up because it's a little bit absorbent with that terry backing. And it could be really fun to do kind of a reverse or use one of the reverse French terries. So you've got the loops on the outside, which is lovely. So French terry is going to be really great. It's got a great blend. Most of them are two-way stretch. Some are four, but they're all going to be really lovely for Laura. It's one of my favorite fabrics. It's super easy to work with. It's so comfortable to wear. I cannot tell you how much I love French terry because I just love it. The Laura is right here, Rebecca Page, Barbara. So Sarah will probably be amazing and grab you that link as well if you'd like. But it's a beautiful pattern. It's so easy to make. If you missed me gushing over it at the beginning, go ahead and go back and watch that because it's one of my favorites. So let's talk double knits. So these last two fabrics that I'm going to show you are definitely going to give you more of that boxy look. Lisa, French terry is my favorite pattern for knit shorts, or favorite fabric for knit shorts. I'm actually wearing some right now that you can't see. It's so comfortable. They're lightweight enough that I'm cool all summer long, but they're thick enough that I feel covered and comfortable. Plus they make really good pockets without sagging and whatnot. So it's really a great fabric for shorts. So double knits are going to give you a little bit more of the boxy look to Laura, that beautiful kind of caressing your curves rather than flowing over them. And Liverpool is one of my favorite double knits. It's a little bit more structured. It's going to have a little less swish and flow and a little bit more. There you guys go. We've got Laura link right there for you. A little bit more structure to it. It's just beautiful. And then the texture on that is lovely. It's got a crepe texture to the right side. And then the wrong side has kind of like a gauzy texture. And it's called a double knit because it's two knits that are together, which is really cool. But Liverpool is one of my favorite fabrics because of the structure. It gives something really a beautiful finished look. And it kind of hovers over instead of cupping anything, which is really nice. I really love working with it as well. It's really easy to work with because it's such a stable fabric. So it's really great for knit beginners as well. And I'm talking so fast because I've got so many fabrics here. Whew. Last fabric I'm going to talk about today is Ponte di Roma. So the one I have as my example is our soft touch Ponte di Roma, but we have quite a few different types of Ponte, and all of them would be lovely. They're all going to give a more boxy look than the rest of the knits I have today, but the lighter weight Pontes will give less of a boxy look than the heavyweight ones. The soft touch has a little bit more drape than regular Ponte. So they're all going to give just a little bit of a different look, but the drape on that is so beautiful. Oh, the ivory is kind of reflecting my light a bit. There we go. So it's going to be a little bit more structured, less flow and swish, which is just a different look, but just equally beautiful. And then this is a little bit heavier of a Ponte, but this would be a beautiful Laura. So I'm super excited to see what y'all make out of all of these fabrics for Laura, because it's just such a versatile pattern. And so I hope that I've answered some questions or helped y'all make some decisions, or inspired you to try a new fabric. Don't forget that every comment enters you to win a 3-yard cut of one of these mystery fabrics. So you can make up your own Laura in a beautiful new fabric. I will not be here next week, but we will pick a winner next week. So we'll go ahead and announce that next Thursday. That last blue one was Liverpool, and it is perfect for a blazer. Scuba and Ponte. So Scuba is also a double knit. It's a nice thick knit. It's almost like neoprene, but it's thinner, and it's got kind of a spongy texture, so it's a different texture entirely, but they have a very similar wear to them. So they wear very similarly with that structure and that boxiness really beautifully. That's a really great question, Ruth. And then you have Scuba and Techno Scuba. And so Techno Scuba is a little bit closer to Ponte in feel. It's a little bit lighter weight than Scuba. And then Scuba is a little bit closer to neoprene. So it's kind of like a scale of thickness and structure, which is really fun. Oh, hi from Australia. Hi. So I have last week's winner, Stacy Tiller. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please go ahead and email us at info@rebecca-page.com to claim your prize, and we'll go ahead and get that shipped out to you. If y'all have any questions at all about fabric or the patterns, please post in the group. We have an amazing team of people, super happy and eager to answer all of your questions and make sure that you're making the most beautiful garments that you can make as easily as possible, which is our goal here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. It's been a beautiful Thursday hanging out with y'all. You're always a bright spot in my week, and I can't wait to see you. Bye, everybody.